Hi, we're back here at the film festival with Mr. Gary Davis and
Arthur Kanegis.
I'm super excited right now because this is Mr. Gary Davis. Oh my God! And we're here to promote
The Gary Davis story.
All right. And this is the. I'm sorry. I'm just like in awe of this man because.
Don't be in awe. I'm a human being like everybody else. But I happen to be a world citizen, and actually we're all world citizens. We come out of our mother's womb into the world, don't we? But I claim to be a world citizen. I was a bomber pilot in World War II, actually.
Wow.
And I got so fed up with the idea of war that I decided I had to do something about world peace. Because, we've entered a new age. We've entered the age of the nuclear bomb, okay? Well, that means that war's finished. It's not war anymore, it's genocide. It's an extermination. Everybody knows it. You see, when one bomb can take out a city, then it's not war. But then the war game goes on simply because the nation state have no way to stop it. See, we have to stop it. We're the people who get killed. The nation state is a carryover from another age. It's a fiction, the horse and buggy kind of a thing. And we've gone through.
Yes, show me your world passport and tell me how you get one because I've been dying to get one.
Okay, this is a world passport. This is based upon the right of freedom of travel. And the right of freedom of travel has been sanctioned by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Now that declaration, very few people know about this. It came out 60 years ago from the United Nations, really. Mm-hmm. It was proclaimed as a common standard of achievement for all peoples and all nations. There are only 30 articles, and Article 13.2 says everyone has the right to leave any country, including his own, and to return to his country. Note they didn't say state, they didn't say nation, they said country. Well, Tom Paine said it best. He says, my country is the world. Well, that's what I say. Our country is the world today. I mean, you can get around the world in 2 days, can't you? And you can send a message around the world in a nanosecond. Everybody's doing it. Kids are sitting at their computers 7 years old and going online. So this business of country is kind of bypassed, and especially wars. World wars started back in 84 years ago. Well, what are we, crazy to continue the war game? I mean,
this man, what made me so excited about doing a movie about Gary is that this man has had the courage. Many people have talked about the world being one. He has had the courage to live it and do it. And for 62 years to live as a citizen of no nation, only the world. The other day I was out on the West Coast pitching the film to some producers, and I get this call from Gary. This is just less than a week ago, 2 weeks ago. He's crossing the border in from Canada, and they've stopped him at immigration, and he slipped off to the bathroom and called me up. He said, they're holding me here, they're threatening to arrest me and everything. And I said, do you want me to, call a lawyer, which we do? Gary said, it's just another comedy at the border. It's happened all my life. He's been in 34 different jails, but he'll never back down. And almost every time he succeeds, and he started talking to the guys about his book and everything, and he talked his way through once again. He's because a world citizen, he says, this line you guys are fighting over or separating, it doesn't really exist. Humans made this up. It's imaginary, and you're stopping me over an imaginary line. I'm above that. I'm not in your system. And finally, they have to let him go.
Another thing about the world, I mean, when you take off in a plane, the minute that plane lifts off, you're in world space. Everybody knows this. And that there's a space, the space satellite going around the world every 90 minutes. At 17,000 miles an hour. I mean, it's ludicrous, the fact that we are still having a we and they type politics. No, the big politics today is we, the human race. And there's where human rights come into play. But everybody can claim it. I mean, world citizenship is one of the oldest ideas in the book. I mean, it goes back to the ancient Greeks. There's nothing new about it. Socrates called himself a world citizen 2,500 years ago. Dionysius, Victor Hugo, all the gurus and master sages. But we have something in this world which no former human race had. We have instant communication. I mean, this mic carrying through this camera can go to the world. Everybody in the world can see this show, right? And that's what show business is all about. That's what movies are all about. Yes. Movies are universal, right?
Absolutely.
So, well then, it's very simple. Everybody can claim what I've claimed. So there's nothing new about it, but we have to do it. And that's what's called sovereignty. People don't understand the word. Sovereignty means political choice. You know, you wore that dress today because you chose it. You cut your hair that way because you chose it. You wore these earrings because you chose them. Now, I mean, this is sovereignty. But now we have to choose our political allegiance.
Yes.
Because it's now all or nothing. The nuclear age is upon us. The nuclear game is out there. Some guy pushes the nuclear button, and that's it. The human race is finished.
Now, you
That's their
started out
choice.
as a song and dance guy. Here you were, a song and dance guy, standing in for Danny Kaye on the Broadway, bringing down the house, getting 13 curtain calls, doing such a terrific job that that Gene Kelly actually thought you were Danny, and yet, what happened to take a song and dance man and transform him into world citizen #1?
Well, you know, the world is a stage, really. I mean, let's face it, we're all on stage. I take this, you know, the Bard said it, all the world's a stage, and we're all the Bard, you know. And so my whole attitude toward what I'm doing is that the big stage is there. And what is a better place to show it than the films? I mean, films are all over the world, you know, and everybody's going to the films and so forth. So it's a very important step that we're taking with Arthur here, who came along and said, hey, this is a new story. Instead of the bang bang stories, you know, I just saw Salt the other day and so forth, and yeah, terrific show. But it's all bang bang. It's all we and they type thinking, you know. Well, now the big we. I mean, if you think of, I'm a Star Trek fan myself, you know. I've been reading science fiction since I was, you know, this high. So to me, the Earth is small potatoes when you think of Star Trek. I mean, we're going off planet, and we're fighting the Ferengis and the Klingons and all the rest. I mean, everybody knows this. The kids are there. The kids are there. The kids now know when you're on cyberspace, and that's what the internet is, a great tool. You see, because internet opens up the world of communication to everybody. Yeah. You're sitting there and you're in your chair, and you've got the internet in front of you, and the world, the whole world of intelligence is in front of you. The kids know this. You can't teach a child about nationality or even religion because they're there, they're beyond it. My mind, or the minds of elders, you see, as one cybernetician says, Stafford Beer, are conditioned to a vanished past. And what is the past? The past is the same thing that people say, oh, you got a world passport, but does it work? In other words, they're saying, does it work? Because they're saying their control is out there, and therefore, how can you have a world passport when there are frontiers all over the world? But my answer is very simple.
Such a paradox.
Does anyone have the right to tell you can't travel on your own planet?
Of course not.
Okay, so you turn the world around. You turn the question around, okay? And women think differently than men, you know. We think in terms of competition, we think in terms of my team, your team, and so forth and so on. But women don't think like that. You think in terms of association. You think in terms of taking care of the people. You are the mothers of the world, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you got to blow the whistle on that way of thinking, that patriarchal we and they type thinking.
I just did. My goodness. So how can you get one of these world passports?
Well, you go to worldservice.org, www.worldservice, one word.org, and there it is. You passport application form. Everything is there. All the legal documents. The original document of the world government is called the Ellsworth Declaration, which was September 4th, 1953, and so forth. All the information is there. And anybody could get this passport. The only criteria is you have to be a human being.
Sometimes that's really hard for some of us, but I have faith everybody, I mean, I've been dying to be called a citizen of the world. However, technically you shouldn't even need to be labeled, but it's great that there's some proof that you can show you're a citizen of the world.
George W. Bush, that would be a fun thing to shoot.
What would you talk about, with Mr. George W. Bush?
With George W. Bush, I would say, I hope you're happy in Texas. I mean, he's no longer the president. Are you talking about a president of the United States?
A former president.
Or Obama? Oh, the former president. I wouldn't talk to him at all.
All right. So tell me,
nothing to do with him.
So tell me, what's the most important thing we're supposed to take away from your film One?
You know,
Well,
I would just say one thing is that Albert Einstein himself said, and you'll see the quote in the film, that Gary Davis has basically the key to survival of the species. That unless we raise our thinking to the global level, we're going to be doomed. So this is a key man and a key movie and a key opportunity that the festival is taking to bring this concept out so that we can make an even bigger movie for the world.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to see it. It sounds like you're going to just make everybody into a new person. It's going to be an army of individuals, which is literally what we are.
Well, we're already, you see, we use the word humanity very glibly, but we're all members of the human race anyway. I mean, it's finished. It's now.
It's so simple, but we all forget.
We all forget, except that in certain areas we don't forget. For instance, we all go to sleep at night, you know.
Yes.
Well, then we get up in the morning and we're full of energy. I mean, everybody does it, no matter whether you're a Jew or Christian, a Hindu, a slave, a black or a woman, and so forth. We all go to sleep at night,
Like eating.
and that means that we are getting energy from the universe. Okay.
Is it recycled energy?
No, the universe is full of synergy. See, yeah, Buckminster Fuller used to talk about this, and so did Einstein, and so forth. So we're universal people already. Mm-hmm. We're living in the universe. That's a strange
I'd like to
thought.
think that's where I am.
Gary is one who taught me that. He said, we don't have to make it one world. He said this to Prime Minister Nehru, who was the first head of state to officially recognize us. He said, we don't have to make it one world. It already is. I mean, we've taken pictures of it from outer space. It already is one world. All we have to do is click our thinking and realize it.
It's so easy to think about.
The
But
human race is one, and we're members of the same species, and let's get our trip together, period.
such a hard thing for us to train ourselves to do. But anyway, thank you guys so much for your time and for explaining this movie to us.
Pleasure to be with you. Thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you. I'm delighted to interview you guys. Oh my God, it's so exciting.
You're a lovely world citizen. Thank you.
Thank you. We're all world citizens. Thank you guys. Can't wait to see it.